Let me just help you decide this shit on your own. First of all, there ain't no such thing as the power of love Spider-Man. You want to go read this shit. Right here it was explaining basically there's two spirits that combine with this, the next of all realities, right? It's a girl and a dude. Spider-Man was in the city doing his Spider-Man shit, right? That's when he saw these motherfuckers, the Scryer motherfuckers. The motherfucker at the bottom said that he been around since before time and after time. One of the motherfuckers didn't believe him. He murked his ass, as you can see right here. So while Spider-Man he was watching all that shit too. He came down and fucking tried to stop all that shit, right? Bro made him forget all that shit and made Spider-Man leave and go get a pizza. Later, we go back to the story with the wife and the dude that's a part of the Nexus. The dude leaves and he turns himself into Man-Thing, the white bleached version. Now go back to the Scryer dude. He makes this guy called the Outrider, the Outsider, whatnot, go in there. Basically, he the one that made the damn dude turn into the fucking Man-Thing. He's tricked him and turned him into Man-Thing so that he can go in there while his wife in there. And basically, as you can see right, he told her, do not kill her. I just need you to get her ass out of there so I can control all the reality. Peter Parker meets up with Man-Thing, and Man-Thing touches his ass and wakes up that memory he had that dude made him forget. He asks him, as you can see right here, he needs him to go protect his wife. So he takes him into the place where he's going, that damn corridor place. This is the Outrider dude. He's in there. He's talking about how he's seeing a whole bunch of different realities and all this shit. The motherfucker go crazy and he come back and realizes who he was and started working for dude again, the Scryer dude. Right here it says Spider-Man, his ass, he wasn't for sure how long Spider-Man been crawling in this corridor. It was explaining that the motherfucker was going crazy, Spider-Man was. He finally met up, he didn't even realize what he was there for. It made him forget where he was at, but he finally realized what he was trying to do there when he saw a dude at the bottom. They got the fight and he slammed his ass on the wall. Then he went to a different reality and he kind of forgot what the fuck he was doing in that reality. Until right here, that's when he realized, like, goddamn, like, this is not right. He was married to fucking Gwen Stacy, the fucking Uncle Ben and shit was alive, so he left. Right here in the middle under me, his ass went through another world. That's when he came out and Uncle Ben was finna get shot by a dude ass. He stopped and that doppelganger ended up dying, right? Peter didn't die. As you see right here at the bottom, it says, never having truly lived in that parallel universe, his mind simply merged with this doppelganger. He could never truly die there. And so he was thrust back into the Nexus tunnel. This is where he met up with dude. Dude ended up meeting up with the girl and he ended up fusing with the goddamn Nexus. He did. And then right here is where it explained him and Spider-Man minds conjoined together. As you can see right here, they joined together. Then it says, as the battle for the soul of creation catapults them into the space beyond physical form, they have crossed over into the quantum reality that underlines all universes without the psychic support of Skyer and the Man-Thing. Both of them would have undoubtedly be annihilated, and traces of them erased from every reality. But even so, it's in an effort to stay clear, stay sane. Spider-Man's mind reaches out like a drowning man, desperate for ballast, whatever. Then his mind finally wrapped around something that can help him stay, keep his sanity, and that was love. He understood his aunt's compassion, his uncle's inspiration. And on the other hand, dude ass was thinking everything negative to that shit. You get it? They having a mind battle thing because their mind is a part of each other. They're the same. He said while they battle, whole universes will and explode and Right here, it got to explaining how that girl that's in there too, her spirit was standing out. But then the realities heave up around her. She hears Spider-Man roar, hears the Outrider weep. A great wind like the breath of God erupts from nowhere and everywhere, carrying all of them up through the layers of the dream. A voice more familiar than her own whispers in their ear, and she understands. Again, up through the layers of the dream. Spider-Man goes back to where the fuck he supposed to go to, and that girl spirit went inside of the Man-Thing. So now they're fused inside the Man-Thing plus the Nexus. They are all one now. You can see that shit right under me. It says it. Also, earlier I forgot to mention that staff that he got in his hand, that's supposed to have the power of God. Like I said, there ain't no such thing as the power of love Spider-Man. Anansi takes powers and he gives them. He could touch you and take them. Shown when he did it to Spider-Man and them. He can put your consciousness on the great web. He could teleport, and he could put your ass in your own separate reality, having you think that you were fighting him, but he really just testing you. like he did with all these motherfuckers, including Madam Web. He did all that because he needed to know that they all wanted them lives, that the powers that wasn't a burden for them, and that their stories could be more than misery and pain. They all have such strong hearts, and he didn't want to break them. Now, if you go to my video, Thor's brother Anansi, that'll explain what he says right here, that he let his powers go down the web of life until he could find heroes. New people to protect this world. As you can see, Miles, Spider-Man, Silk, and all the rest of the Spider-Man doing their protection shit. He's also the reason why they go through their tragedy too. Because with all that bravery comes at a price, and there's no cost a person should ever bear. As you can see, all the dead ones that has happened from being a Spider-Man. He watched all this pain, all of this hurt, these heartbreaks, all it landed on each of you. He came because he felt like the powers that he brought into them was giving them so much misery to their lives that he just wanted to turn them back. He wanted to return them back to a simple life of peace. Which is why when he came recently, he was trying to take their fucking powers away. He ain't even gotta touch you. He could look at you and take your shit. Like he did with Madam Web when he says no more cheating. That's because he took her psionic power weapons and shit, but her other shit was still intact, and she was trying to coordinate them, but he took that shit. He is the one that grants the powers and all that shit because he's the god of stories. For the Spider-Man, even Peter knows this shit when it comes to Anansi. The only thing I ever heard about Anansi was that he wanted us to have these powers to protect the Great Web. He's not a Spider-Man, he's the first Spider-Man. And he can take all that shit if he wants to. No wall crawling, none of that shit. But now that they passed their trials and he knows that they want their stories, he's proud of them and told them to keep writing their own stories. Now you know, there ain't no such thing as power of love Spider-Man. They need to stop saying that shit. And this is the truth, this is what he can do. You also want to go check out my video, Thor's brother, Anansi video, to see some other adventures and shit he got.